Are there still treasures in the used gun department? Let's find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, what do we got for you today? Well, I was in my local gun store a few weeks ago, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but where you're at, but pretty much everywhere I know of, selection's pretty well picked over with all the panic buying that's been going on. But I happened to see what I thought might be a diamond in the rough in the used gun department, so I took a look. So what we have for you today is we're going to review, it is a Ruger SR45. You know, and it's not that old of a gun, but it is out of production. Until probably last summer, though, you could still get new old stock that had not been sold previously. So, and it kind of reminded me of the first handgun that I had, which was, if you guys have been watching the channel, was my Ruger SR9 that I got rid of. And to be honest with you, I've kind of missed it since then. So we're going to take a look at this SR45 today and do kind of a tabletop review. It's too darn cold. It's I think -5 below right now. So we're not going to go out to the range today, but we're going to take a look at it and talk about it and see what you think. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Okay, so here is the box the gun came in, and actually, you know, this is a little bit nicer. My SR9 just came in a cardboard box, so kind of a nice upgrade, I guess, on this one. You know, these guns came out about the same time. The SR series wasn't as popular as, say, like their Ruger American series or other guns, but it had some really redeeming qualities. So let's just open it up and I'll show you. So everything's here. So I've got, it actually still has the package. It has the original owner's name on it, so I'm not going to flip it over, but the original test fire shells from the factory. Still has the original owner's manual. Warranty card, got your firearm safety act, like all the stuff that came with it. So everything's here. Okay, so here is the firearm itself, and let's get it out, and I'll just show you. So, comes with, yeah, dropping stuff here. 2 10-round magazines. You know, for a 45, that's not too bad. It's maybe a little bit outdated compared to today's standards. And I'll just show you, so just so you can see everything. The firearm is clear. But one of the things I really liked about my SR9, which is this is basically the same gun chambered in 45. You know, the grip's a little bit longer this way than the SR9 was, but overall same firearm. I'll point out, and if you watched my SR9 video, the original one, the reason I did get rid of it, this is not going to be my main carry gun, but this is the takedown plate or pin. After a few hundred rounds, this gets pretty hot, and as a left-handed shooter, that's about where you rest your trigger finger. So it got kind of hot, and it was annoying, and I actually got a blister on my finger a couple times. So I did trade it off as my everyday carry, but I still really liked the firearm itself. So set this off to the side. Here's the loader that it came with. So everything's still here. I will tell you, this gun I almost passed on, because in the store, to be honest with you, it was so dirty that I couldn't tell, honestly, when I looked inside, if the rifling was shot out or if it was just dirty. And at the price they gave it to me at, I figured, well, if it needs a new barrel, I can always add a new barrel. But when I cleaned it out, it took me over an hour to clean this gun, by the way. So something to take a look at if you're looking at a used firearm. I would hope most places clean their guns a little bit better than this, but you know, that's kind of just the food for thought here for you. So let's get into, so this is a full-size handgun. If I remember correctly, the specs, this is a 4.25 inch barrel. Don't quote me on, but I think that's what I remember. But full-size handgun, it's you can see it fills the hand. The thing about the SR series, while it's not a 1911, this is striker fire, a lot of the way it feels with the beaver tail and the angle on the grip kind of reminds people, and myself included, of a 1911. And that's not blasphemy. People don't get all butthurt by saying that, because I'm not saying it's 1911, but there are things about how this firearm is designed that tend to remind people of that. And I think that was kind of comforting for a lot of people. And the reason they sold a lot of these. So that being said, there are a few things that made it not quite as popular, say, as their newer offerings like the Ruger American. It had kind of a short rail here and only one light, so it wasn't too many options to put a light on here, although it was still there. One thing about it was the trigger. This catches a lot of people off guard because the trigger, while I really like it, you have to get used to, because unlike a lot of firearms where there's, you know, there's maybe a little bit amount of creep and you hit a wall and then it breaks. Well, I'm going to let you listen. So really, that's about all the creep there is, and it's just solid. And when you pull it back, like, there's really no warning when it's going to break. And it does have a magazine disconnect, just so you know. But overall, it's a good feeling trigger, but it's different than a lot of stuff on the market. On top of that, I mean, it does have a manual safety. I can take that or leave it. Don't really use it. Some first-time gun owners like it. It also, a lot of people complained about this. It does have a loaded chamber indicator. As you can see that. And I'll flip it over so you can see it a little bit better. Cover that serial number a little bit here. Some people felt this was big. But to be quite honest with you, when it was up, it was not in the line of the sight. So it didn't obscure anything. Some really nice things about the gun, though, is fully adjustable. You can have your windage adjustment for the front sights, fully height and windage adjustment for the rear sights. So it was a pretty feature-packed gun. Has a good feel. This is mostly ambidextrous. And when I say mostly, so you have your slide release here, safety on this side as well. No slide release on this side, so you can't operate that as a left-hander. But magazine is completely ambidextrous. You don't even have to switch it back and forth. It's just there. So nice, thoughtful features. And I point these out because those of you out there looking for, a 45 or even just a new handgun to play with in general, there's a lot of stuff that's sold out. And it's very likely you can find one of these in your used gun store. So check it out. I'm going to break this down for you real quick. So it breaks down very similar to most striker-fired guns, except for one thing. You have that takedown pin. So on this side, you push that button, you pop this pin out. I didn't push it in far enough, sorry. So that comes out, again, similar to a 1911, not exactly like it. Then you release it. You do have to pull the trigger, slide the slide forward, your captured guide rod. And before I put this back together, this is a brand new guide rod. I'll talk about that here in a minute. And then you take your barrel out. So pretty standard assembly and reassembly. The SR series, if I had one thing I would tell you, is they were kind of known for this guide rod. This is a polymer guide rod. And they did have a tendency to be a little bit flimsy. In fact, when I first looked at this gun at the gun store, the guide rod was actually broken. So I refused to even consider buying the gun until they fixed it. They got this one sent to them from Ruger under warranty. That being said, I did order, this is an upgrade that some people like to do. And we're going to put this back in. This is a steel captured guide rod, and I ordered it. This is from Galloway. And this is the factory 18-pound spring. Galloway does have nice options. You can order different spring weights with this, but I just wanted to keep it stock. So we're going to put this one in, and we're going to keep the factory Ruger one just as a spare. So that's one upgrade I'm going to do on this one, just because, again, it was kind of a known point that it could fail on the SR series. But other than that, I'm going to leave it pretty well stock. Put it back together, lock it back, insert your takedown pin, and we are good to go. We'll put a magazine here for you. So it's ready to go, and again, we're going to get it out to the range and fire it. I haven't had a chance to fire it, but I'm kind of excited to get back to for my very first handgun. It has a very good feel in the hand. I will tell you, some people felt it needed a little bit extra grip. So I do have, what I did to my SR9 is added, again from Galloway, some rubberized grip tape to it. I'll probably install this at some point too, but I'm gonna test fire it before I put this on so we can kind of do before and after when it actually warms up to do a range video. So enough of my rambling, but SR45, check it out guys. Feature loaded feature loaded gun, and it's very, very possible you'll see these in one of your local gun stores and you can get them at good prices. So that's it. We'll cut to the outro, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Well guys, I hope you liked that overview. We'll get the gun out to the range here on another video when it warms up. I mean, I mentioned earlier it's below zero. The weatherman actually says it feels like -30 today, so just not conducive to going, at least for me, to go out to the range today. But as always, you know, if you like videos from the channel, I hope you hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe. If you want to check me out other places, I am over on Odyssey and Patreon, and I also am on Instagram now. But we'll see you in future videos. Shoot safe.